Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cold for episode 70 of On the Backs of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and here today, same as always, we have all of our players. We have Frank, Kyle, Mac, Josh, Abby, and Christo. Super excited to have everybody here at the virtual table. So it's going to be a good time, I think, even though we left it off at a bad time. It was a bad time. But first off, I'd like to talk about something that we're doing as a team in our game. I decided as a small Halloween. Halloween's over, guys. I got start over.
Never over. Halloween's over.
Nope, I turn it off.
Happy Decemberween, cultists.
To encompass all of the holidays gift. I couldn't wait till Hanukkah started next week because I have no patience. But I have created bingo cards for everybody in the party. These bingo cards are made for their individual characters, and these include spells, abilities, prompts for them to try and acquire bingo. If they do these things on stream, which if they get bingo, they get inspiration, and if they fill their sheet entirely, they get a magic item vaguely of their choosing. We'll talk about it, me and the person. So I think this is just going to be a fun thing we're trying out, and we'll tell you if we like it or not, if we're like, wow, we hate bingo, you know? But I like bingo. Are you raising your hand to speak, or are you posing?
I am raising my hand to speak. I'm very animated tonight. I think the spirit of the JoJo's has infested me, but...
That's a shame. Very infested.
I had a question for the DM pertaining to these bingo cards. Do you think that maybe these will be visible to our fellow cultists outside of the party? Maybe they can follow along at home?
If they ask me real nice. No, I would be happy to put these over on our Discord. If you go to our About page on Twitch, you can follow us on Discord and talk to us if you want to see the bingo cards. I will also probably put them over on Instagram. So if you want to follow us at Backs of Gods on Instagram, you can see all of the prompts, some of them very difficult, for people to attempt to get some nice things from me in game, because maybe I forget to give inspiration nearly ever.
And maybe some of us forget to use certain skills and items maybe ever. So, you know, it's an even trade.
It'll be great. We'll all have a good time. But anyways, I think that was my exciting announcement that we are just going to be playing a side game during our game. So if you hear somebody say, like, hey, Jillian, would you consider this to be a success in my worst skill? I'd be like, yeah. And if somebody later on, weeks from now, hopefully weeks from now, says bingo in the middle of the game, you'll understand what's going on.
Jillian,
So,
I've somehow filled out my whole sheet.
All of you fill
Just
up your
by
sheets
existing.
just this episode. I'm like,
Yes.
everybody gets a new magic item just right now.
It'd be a crazy episode considering some of these.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not episode 69 anymore. We got to reel it in. This is episode 70. Get it together.
I don't know if we have it in us, but we must.
I believe in y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and give us a quick recap, and then I think we'll be ready to jump into things. Last session, the party had finished a terribly long, trying combat where corrupted descended upon their area, and they had to fight through the night to see the morning. They all survive. Some people come out of it a little worse for wear, but along the way, all of you meet a group of mercenaries, hunters, with their supposedly leader or face being Sunny, who talk about how they hunt corrupted for money, bringing it over to towns and collecting payment for either the heads or bits and pieces. They didn't give you too much information on it, maybe to keep you out of their, business. But you guys interacted with them. Some of you got really handsy, interacted with them. Episode 69, baby. But you made some friends, acquaintances, who after you left, Roshan informed all of you that it was like, hey, they were lying about a couple things, but you know, what are you gonna do? You continue forward on your trek where you find the town of Belovin. Roshan also seems to know this town and informs some of the party later on that this is actually a place that Ave had visited on his travels when he was younger. You all arrive in town for a harvest festival or a winter's festival. They kind of mix them together. Of Gevyun, the goddess of the plow and agriculture. You guys play games. Everybody in town does a lot of smooching. Everybody's very friendly. And after playing games, there's like a pie eating contest. There's the 96 tug of wars people were referring to it as. But kisses were won, prizes were to be had, pies were eaten. There was eventually a mano-y-mano contest to who gets the gift of Gevyun between Tordrecht and Gorbjorn. Put up their dukes. Gorbjorn being taller, stronger, and just holding Tordrecht in a tight bear hug until he gave in. Gorbjorn was given the gift of Gevyun, which included him and at least a baker's dozen of women who undressed as they walked, entering a building together, where they could continue to populate the town and get the blessing of the goddess. The rest of the party, not invited. But you all eat some food, have some fun at the festival. There is a foot race to be had. While Nanna is running this foot race, there is a chest pain that persists. Her vision goes blurry. She coughs up some blood and she falls. Healing magics are used, restorations are used. It does not seem to work. And the chief of the town brings up that there is a medicine woman in the wood that her people used to go to but have not gone to in a long time. That is where we left off with Nanna still on the ground. But everybody has gathered about. Tordrecht tried to get in to get to Gorbjorn. Nobody will let him in that room, so he has trekked back. The man on the bucket there is like, you can't interrupt the ritual. You don't want to go in there. And is certainly not allowed in. But before we get back to that half of the team, I just want to do our brief before we cut to black moment of what Gorbjorn sees, because I think it's important that we all know.
We're all thinking it.
Gorbjorn is led into this building, which once you get inside is full of fabrics and pillows. You also see that there is a small table off to the side with a large bowl on top of it. The men who carried you in, like, set down the little pedestal. They do not leave the room, but they do stand just like stoically by the door. The women seem to work as a unit and like lead you in, and if you were not fully undressed, fully undress you. They start to pull out small vials of paint and begin to paint runes all over your body until you are fully covered. And then they dip a ladle into this large bowl, offer it for you to drink.
Can I make like an Arcana check of what the hell's going on?
Yeah. You're just standing there.
I'm just like, I'm okay with this. That's a 13. Okay. I don't expect much.
You look around. Are you using anything, or is it just you trying to gauge what's happening?
I'll use my wolf eyes. Why the like? I don't care. It's just
woof. The world illuminates slightly. You had done this earlier when you were near this building and saw a light inside. It's coming from the bowl that they are now currently offering you a drink from, and you can see that there's like, you look at the bowl itself and there are carvings of like oxen like dancing around the edges, and you can see that the paint that's on you illuminates slightly.
This could only be good as I drink from the ladle.
Hell yeah.
This is totally like magical bowls. Yeah, let's do it.
I want to be a magical bowl, and that's kind of the case.
Well, I meant like because I've been drinking out of Odin's bowl and like everything.
I'll just drink out of bowls. Yeah, so far you have not asked a lot of questions when presented things to drink, especially from bowls.
Magical bowls.
If it's not magical, I don't want it. To be blunt and then cut to black, this is a potion to help the whole encounter. It's because it's a whole encounter. And then it is an aggressive cut to black. It is not episode 69. We're not talking about it. Meanwhile, Nanna on the grass. You've wiped the blood from your mouth. You have caught your breath. It takes a moment, but after you sit for a moment, you feel better. You still feel very dizzy, and there's a tightness in your chest. You can feel sweat on the back of your neck slowly starting to cool. That's how you currently feel. What are people doing, if anything? Basically, everybody besides Gorbjorn is present. And the chief is there, very frazzled, as she's like looking around for somebody.
Ben would waste no time in like getting Nanna up onto the cart so we could start making our way off into the woods to find the woods witch.
You start pulling Nanna. The chief sees you moving. She's going to make a beeline towards you. You shouldn't go. And she glances to the sky. It is later in the day. It's going to take you hours to get there. And if you're in the woods at night, it could be worse.
But she's sick.
I'm not dead yet.
But
let's be smart about this. No, hold on, Saga. Please. We have to be smart. I'm not going to get this entire party killed just because of a cough, right? It seems to me like it's worse when I move aggressively or too much or exert myself overmuch. So, a full night's sleep, perhaps, might do me good. We can all get a rest, and we can start early in the morning, when there will be light, and we won't have to deal with unknowns in the wilderness.
And I know that Nanna wouldn't lie to me, but I just want to look at her and I don't remember if I did a medicine check earlier, but I wanted to do that. Just want to make sure she's going to be okay for the evening.
Yeah, you could do a medicine check.
Tordrick will assist her.
Okay.
And he's praying for guidance.
I think maybe I might say, Tordrick, I understand, Nanna, you don't want to leave now and you want to be safe, but I feel like you should have Tordrick look at you. He's very good with medicines. I don't know. Because I'm very much not. So if I'm gonna let you roll that one because I'm not.
20.
There you go.
This way.
I'll give Tordrick guidance instead.
Okay. Tordrick, you get to roll with advantage and with a D4.
I rolled the natural 20.
Oh shit!
Oh,
which means you get to mark off your first thing on the bingo board. A natural
middle space.
The first roll.
Let's go.
Second roll, but still very nice.
Amazing.
Tordrick, you make your way over after Saga kind of motions you. You both were kind of moving in on this. This was like, we need to check. You go over, you check Nanna's pulse, you put a hand to her forehead, you kind of like open her mouth and you're like, look up, look down. You do the whole like run the gambit of the situation. Gosh, that nat 20. Okay. This was the roll to get a nat 20 on. So Nanna isn't like lying. So it's basically, do you think she would be fine until tomorrow? Yes. You 100% think so, unless she's like, suck it nerds, I'm gonna go run a marathon. You don't think that would help. But waiting overnight without straining oneself could be very beneficial. And if something were to happen that was strenuous at night in the woods, which is a likelihood, it could make it worse for her. What you notice, like you tell her to like breathe in, you put like hands like on the ribs, on the chest, feeling around, you go to the lymph nodes. You think, and it just sends like a bit of a chill down your spine, Tordra. You think that if Nanna were to do something as severe as something strenuous on her body to the extent of in combat falling unconscious, you don't think she would get up from that. You don't think she has the energy for what would be mechanically death saving throws. She could do casual things, and she could also run again. It could end like this though. But if it gets to the point of falling unconscious, she is not getting back up. That is what you were able to glean from this.
Well, you need to rest. If we go out at night, it's dangerous. And if you get in a fight, I don't know if your body can handle it right now. I think you should rest. It sure seems like everything should be okay if we wait. I'll stay with you and pray and make sure that you just rest. But
Me too.
I think we'll be safe. I just would hate to have something happen where, you know, you do what you're used to doing and something jumps us and then you jump in and then you don't get back up just from your body being so weak right now. It's not in a good state. So that's what I recommend at least.
You're muted.
I am?
No, not yet.
No.
That would have been
No.
bad if we were all just sitting here like.
yeah.
Well, that makes sense. I don't feel in fighting shape. I don't think I've ever felt this unwell before in my life. Maybe not since I was, 4? Anyway, yeah, I think that a rest would do me good. Not moving, just give me a night to sleep, and I think I should be all right, at least for the journey.
The chief comes over, who kind of steps in. We have rooms at the inn. You all are welcome to stay. No charge tonight, but enough rooms for all of you. Hopefully I can find something to help, a map perhaps. I'll look around, and if I have until tomorrow, I might be able to find something.
Any help would be welcome. Thank you.
And I can't promise that she's even there. We haven't been in years, and people had said that older citizens, that they were turned away, the most recent people who went. But it's the only thing I know.
One more lead than we had. That is a good, and it is appreciated.
Of course, we'll get something to eat brought up. She points out a small inn Please go there. The rooms are 2 beds each. We don't know if this is contagious or something. You may want to just take the room by yourself.
I would certainly hate to to have anyone else feel like I'm feeling right now, so best for just those who are interested in my immediate physical health be close by.
All right, I'll do what I can. And she nods and sort of looks all of you over. Adjusts her large ox horn hat and then runs off.
She's been so serious through all of this. It just...
The big hat.
And it adds majesty rather than, like, you know...
It is very majestic.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, just huge hat. Big horns.
Roshan would like to follow after her and ask her, is there anything else you can tell us about this, the witch?
I mean, I never went, people went very sparingly, because usually there was some sort of trade needed in order to get what was wanted. And recently people, as I said, were turned away. She's been there, I think, since at least I was born, or at least there were rumors. I can't say if it's the same person even. But the people who were able to get help, it seemed it actually did something. And I watched your friends use their magics, and I wouldn't know where else to turn.
Is there anyone who might be comfortable talking to us about their time there tonight?
I'll see if there is somebody living. They were probably a child when they went. I'll ask around while I can see if I can find a map.
I appreciate the help. Thank you.
Of course. And then she waits half a second to see if you had something else, and then goes quickly. The silhouette of the horns as she leaves. But you all can see the inn where you're from. What would you like to do?
Get Nanna there as quickly as possible.
No one wants to sleep.
I'm done. The
Nighttime.
over.
Yeah, Fenn's kind of in like action mode, like doesn't just want to sit there and not do anything. So he's gonna like go around town and like I know shops and stuff aren't open, but he's gonna try and beg or borrow or purchase some honey and mint and tea and see if he can like make a tea or something for Nanna to drink, just something comforting.
Might be able to find something with the inn. Who knows?
Just gonna look around and see if there's anybody that can help out with that. Fenn's got to be doing something.
Okay. Give me perception first. As the rest of the group, whoever is going to the inn, makes their way towards the inn.
2 or 7.
18.
18. Okay. You start to look around, and your first assessment is correct that it looks like everybody shut down shop for the festival today. But as you kind of start to curve away from your companions, you do see that it's just like it's the sign of the inn says inn, and then in very small print under it, like somebody added it a while ago, but with like paint, and it's worn, and it says and corner shop. But you can see a light through the window, and I hope this woman wouldn't have just sent you to an empty, unopened inn.
Closed.
But people who make their way into the inn, you go inside. There's a warmth there from the fire. There is an old man sitting at the counter, and he's currently like, looks like he's drinking a hot beverage, and he like looks over. Oh, right. How many?
Typically 6 of us, but I think it might just be 5 tonight.
Well, we'd best get enough for 6. I'll need a room to myself tonight, and
7.
Oh, Ptolemaeus is here.
I'm
He's
sorry.
like quietly in the back, like, what the fuck do I do?
Nanna is not processing. She's forgotten Ptolemaeus. She's still a little dizzy, I think, from the fall before. So, don't trust her for tactical information right now, y'all.
In tactics, you request 4 rooms. One of them, or 2 of them, depending on how long Gorbjorn will be gone, can have 1 person in them. But the man starts giving out keys. Go rest as long as you need to. We'll probably get some food up there as soon as we can, something warm.
That would be appreciated. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate your hospitality.
Of course. And as the chief has told me, free of charge. So please go get comfortable. I'll have to explain this to my partner, but he'll have to deal with it. He's on bucket duty for a while anyways.
Fenn's gonna go to I assume Gorbjorn left the bag of holding in the cart, and he's gonna like at least go get a gold piece out of that to tip this guy with.
I don't know, man. It's probably attached to his pants.
There's no pants here. Gorbjorn, would you have left your bag with the cart? Cool. Yeah, you can easily be like, you reach your hand in and you're like, a gold piece, and a gold piece is in your hand instantly. It's like, okay.
I've been studying. I'm trying to figure out which is which. I think I've got it at this point.
It's weird, but you're like, and it's here.
I know which one is which. I may not know the values, but I know that gold usually does business. So,
Impressive business.
Yeah. So you give this guy a gold coin. He's like, I'll just tell him you paid for the rooms, and he'll get over it. Even if you didn't, he'll get over it. He hates being the bucket guy. And he kind of like motions in the direction of the place where Gorbjorn is currently. He has to sit in front, make sure nobody goes in. But, he'll be fine. You go, what else can he do? And he laughs. Sorry, is there anything else you needed? Don't mean to talk your ear off.
Do you need any help with the food?
Oh, he's going to roll insight real fast. Is Saga trying to like occupy herself? Is it something she's trying to do?
Yeah, basically, and she wants to make sure Nanna gets some good food, and she also wants to sneak some food just to eat, but also occupy herself at the same time.
Okay, this guy looks you over and he's like,
yes.
Yes, I could use some help with the food.
Okay, I've cooked before. That's good. I can help you then.
I believe you.
Okay.
She's so cute.
Anything before we go in the back?
No, thank you. Thank you very much.
Of course. This little old man starts to make his way to the back. All right, let's get some food made up.
So, do you make muffins for supper, or do you do like soup? Or?
Oh no.
Well, I think we could definitely do some soup, seeing as I already have some on. It just needs some, fixing up.
Okay, we'll make muffins and soup then.
That sounds like a very good idea. And you spend time with the little innkeeper, making some muffins and zhuzhing up the soup. Is there anything else that other people are doing, or are people just like, gonna go sit in my room and stare at the wall for a hot, because that's acceptable and understandable.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Roshan would like to, after everything is calmed down with the festival, to ask Tall to go on a walk with him.
Ptolemaeus starts to like make his way to a room and then stops, and he's like, of course, let me, and he like motions to Hercules, and he's gonna go put Hercules inside.
Gonna go put the little friend to bed.
He's like, this little guy doesn't need to be here for this walk. He's just gonna make it complicated. Yeah, so he sets down Hercules inside, and he's like, and he puts like one of those little like pellet foods you've seen him give him, and like sets it down. Of course, let's go for a walk.
So Roshan would start off the conversation by asking, is a disease or a sickness like this anything you've heard of before or encountered in your travels?
The thing is with sickness, it is it all looks the same sometimes. People, they sweat and they flush and they cough up blood. It is I'm not a doctor.
That's okay. Forgive me for being blunt. There's nobody around, right?
Yeah, like you're able to get like fairly secluded. Most people are in like groups at an activity. So not a lot of people scattered. So you can find spots of less population.
So in a relatively empty area, Roshan's going to say, I noticed the other day when I touched your back, I was surprised and you shrugged away quickly, but I thought I felt something, and I was just wondering if you have scars.
Roll persuasion and insight.
A flat 20 on persuasion and a 10 on insight.
All right. Bold, but slightly unawares. You bring this up. You can see that even with the 10, Ptolemaeus is instantly uncomfortable with the topic, and fully stops walking and looks at you. And he is quiet for a moment. And then he like nods softly. They are scars. I had told you and your friends that I had that there was a caste system where I'm from, and I was at the boat, and I was truly at the bottom. And it was, bluntly, I was a slave. And that is what you felt. they don't go away, which I thought they might. And I watch your friends heal each other. I would like to keep them, I think, when I see that. It is a complex feeling that I don't know if I could find the word.
I don't know that I could find a word in our language either. Nobody deserves to go through that, and I'm sorry that it happened to you, but I didn't want to pretend like I hadn't seen or felt something.
Is appreciated.
Roshan will put an arm around him, and I don't think he's got anything else to ask, so just make some nerd chitter chatter.
So you read books. Ptolemaeus also does not push the conversation in that direction further, and it takes him a moment to kind of get back on track with a normal, more casual conversation. But you're able to eventually go back more into a small talk mode, and then eventually probably talk of something in the sciences as you kind of make your loop around town.
Yeah, I think kind of as small talk, Roshan would talk about how his tattoos are also taboo. So he has reason to be covered, especially when going to new places.
I saw them, and he does a visage of unfurling.
Yes, that's actually relatively new, but I've had the tattoos since I was, well, I would say since birth, but I don't think they were there at birth. My sister and I had matching ones, but recently they've grown to cover more of my body.
Grown as in you have not hired someone to increase the amount of tattoos on your body?
No, and I don't know that they're actually tattoos. I don't. When I came to Golunder, I had them already, and I was maybe 5 years old, and I don't remember much before then. But my sister and I matched.
Interesting. I don't understand anything here. It's all wild.
Well, I think a person like you could appreciate that.
I'm working on it. Also, you said your companions are going into the woods tomorrow. Is it all right if I stay here?
I do believe we'll be back on this trail since we need to head south after that. But I think you're welcome to stay here.
All right, and then I can look at my samples, see if anything, see if I can do anything with literal magic.
Before you go, or before we go, you should probably trade in some of a bag of diamonds for some actual cash.
I appreciate the sentiment. but it needs to be usable on all continents.
I understand, and it doesn't have to be a lot. I think right now you're vastly overpaying for goods and services because you can't split a diamond forever.
I'll think about it.
Ask Gorbjorn.
I will ask Gorbjorn.
You know what? He might not know the conversion rate. I'll help.
I also do not know the conversion rate. We'll figure something out, maybe.
Sounds good.
Right. As you two continue your walk, anything else back at the homestead?
Fenn's gonna see Nanna to her room, like make sure she's nice and comfy, check her temperature, check her forehead, and then like I think like he's gonna spend most of the night like wandering around town, just like pacing, and like every 30 minutes to an hour, he's gonna peek his head in Nanna's door and make sure she's okay, and like, that's what Fenn's doing all night. He's trying not to bother Nanna, but he's like wants to like check on her often and not be too far.
Okay, I'm just gonna clarify for me. When you say all night, is there not going to be a 4-hour period where you don't do that?
If there's a 4-hour period where he thinks somebody else is going to make sure they're checking on Nanna, then that's fine. But otherwise, Fenn will stay up and do it.
You would have to talk to somebody about it then. As you only really come in, Nanna, every 30 minutes to an hour.
I'm very sneaky.
I mean, I should.
The door refuses to help you, though. It's just like no footsteps approach. Click. So that is every 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, maybe I'll take 4 hours as long as I got the room like across the hallway from her.
Yeah, all the rooms are close to each other.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not too big of a building.
Yeah.
Everything's within 10 seconds of each other if necessary. Nanna, what are you doing?
I feel like once Nanna actually gets hot food in her, which, whenever that arrives in the course of the evening,
Saga,
that's like priority one.
Has a bowl of soup and probably more muffins than you.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Just too many muffins.
Too many muffins and a big bowl of soup.
Yeah.
That I need a picture. How big is the mound of muffins that is brought in on this tray to Nanna's bed?
Oh, well, it's layered. It's tiered.
Yeah.
I definitely stacked them.
How many tiers?
Yeah. Oh, probably just one because I didn't want to drop them because floor muffins would be worse. So just 2 tiers.
Okay, no, that's reasonable. That's very reasonable, but still, too many for. But it's perfect, and Nanna will.
It's in case you get hungry later, and you don't want to walk around because you want to stay here. So if you get hungry later, you can have more food. And you don't need to get up. She's waiting until you take a bite.
Nanna will 100% take a bite of this warm, fresh-baked muffin.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay. All right, good night. Just she gives you like a weird pat. And then she leaves.
Click. You have the loudest door in the house.
I certainly do, somehow. That makes sense, I guess.
Saga, anything else as I steer away from Nanna for half a second longer?
Probably just do small prayer for Lady Seder. Maybe go find Tordricht and ask if he wants to pray together for a little bit, just to make sure that we can get, because we were talking about praying for Nanna for her sickness. So we'll find him.
Yeah.
Ask if he wants to pray with me. I think you're muted if you're talking.
Yeah, you're muted. Shock.
Now you are moving slow.
Uh-oh. Come on, Frank. Come on. Speak
Yeah.
to us. Oh,
So you guys
jumped.
pray.
Oh, please let the internet
come
work.
on.
Yeah, we
He's
can't hear you,
muted.
Frank.
He's muted.
Give some bardic inspiration to his ISP.
You're muted, Frank. Oh no.
Oh no! Permamute.
Yes, but we do pray. That happens.
You all
Yes,
pray.
that does happen.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
We all know this to be self-evident.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay.
Praise be to the 9 sisters.
So, yeah, I kept saying a couple times, Tordrick's not going to get out of Nanna's sight. There's no way. He's totally concerned about her, and as if doors are squeaking, he's going to spit on the doors to make them not squeak. That's the old dwarf trick. He's going to do everything he can to not go down and get a drink, but because it's definitely calling. But Nana's more important, and the party is. So he's going to do some little bit of praying. He's going to set up the his little 9 sisters miniature statues kind of over next to Nanna, and absolutely wants to pray with anybody who is in that room and ready to rock and roll.
Yes.
For that.
Saga's here to rock and roll. Nanna has like a muffin. She's like, hell yeah.
Right.
Muffin and a giant bowl of soup. It's such good soup, and they're very good muffins. They don't necessarily are flavors that are usually paired together,
no,
but they're both very good.
They're like cornbread kind of muffins.
Yeah, like
so
a
they work with
cornbread.
the soup.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
correct muffin.
Corn
Yes.
muffins. Is this a new invention? Is this known?
Galunder's so sad. There's no
I don't.
corn.
Why wouldn't they have cornbread?
There's no corn muffin.
I mean,
There's no corn, probably.
There's
It's
no
the New World
culture in
cultivar,
Galunder.
so
Yes, this is thing like cornbread, but shape of muffin.
Aha! We declare this land have the cornbread.
Yeah, you guys, this place basically got almost anything you want.
That's fair.
Not stingy with the agriculture. But yeah, you guys are welcome to pray. You've set up your figures, both of you are there, Saga and Tordrick. Is there anything in particular you guys wanted to do? Or just looking for assistance from your goddesses?
Protection for those who are weak, the strength to get through the night, and I think that's just that everybody can stay focused this evening and be ready to go in the morning with complete focus.
Torbjorn gets the focus prayer. He's thinking about baseball all of a sudden.
Oh no.
Oh, and Tordrick tells Nanna, he goes, he starts to take off his armor because, he doesn't wear his armor in the evening. And he goes, I'm going to wear my robes tonight, just out of respect for you, Nanna. And he smiles.
I understand how much that means to you, Tordrick, and you honor me.
An honor has been blessed upon you as he puts on his like slightly too short robe, and he's like, "You're welcome."
So good. I have this huge soup and all these corn muffins and a robe-bedecked cleric dwarf present. And an amazing chaotic cleric by his side. I am safe. Nothing can harm me.
We are
You heard her.
God.
You heard her.
Yeah. It'll be fine. It's declared. Yeah. In between all of this, after the prayer session, Saga will run downstairs and get more muffins and soup, and she'll also get an ale for Tordrick since he's staying up, and She knows how much he likes that stuff. Very
Mhm.
strange, but that's okay. And then she'll go to bed
Okay.
Thank you.
with muffins. With
Yeah.
muffins.
Few muffins. He's like, I made
That's actually very tasty.
All right, Nanna. There are moments where you're alone. Is there anything you wanted to do alone or not?
I think Nanna is using her moments alone to kind of like feel her own body, kind of get a sense of what's going on, like where does it hurt the worst, what's going on, and where are her limits, so that she can know them before the morning.
Okay. I'll let you roll a medicine check with advantage because of Tordrek's nat 20.
Much appreciated. Ooh! That ain't bad, buddy. I'm very grateful for that advantage, because otherwise that would have been bad. You said medicine check?
Yep.
Dirty 20.
Okay. There's not too much more I can honestly give you compared to what I told Tordrek, but fair. I can say it in I hate to say things in mechanics terms, but that's really what I'm going to have to do.
It's fair.
If you were to exert yourself, whether it is running, the dash action, doing your full turn, really, to say the thing, action, bonus action, movement, any of that shenanigans, there is going to be a check involved. Because combat is strenuous, even if you're not doing a lot. So if you do anything in combat besides take a seat and casually watch, there will be con checks. And those con checks will affect the severity of how you feel and how you are able to perform. So if you fail very terribly on a con check, it would be like you were under the effects of the slow spell, you know? Ooh. There'd be slower movement. You wouldn't be able to do action, bonus action. It would impede you in combat. And then if you continue to keep doing combat things, there will be more rolls and higher consequences.
Oh boy.
You believe Tordrek when he says, if you go unconscious, you're not getting back up. You can feel that in yourself.
Backseat myself then.
The most painful spot on your body is right near the center of your chest. You can tell it's your heart.
I do have one follow-up question.
Okay.
With a dirty 20.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything I can extrapolate about, like, how this happened to me? Can I, like, for certain nail down a cause or an allegory to anything I've seen?
Check.
Oh, boy.
That's a different check.
That sure is. Nanna ain't that smart, but we'll see what she can do. Straight intelligence, huh?
Yep.
All right. One straight intelligence check. Yeah, I figured. That's a 10.
Yeah, I was going with DC 15. You are welcome to come to your own conclusions.
Mm-hmm.
You can look back on your days recent and be like, could be this, could be that. Mm-hmm. But you have no proof. You even like take a side glance at your ankle. Mm-hmm. You don't see anything there. So there's just no physical evidence on your body of what it is. You can assume, but there's no proof.
That's troubling.
I had a question about Nanna's reduced capacity. She can't like do much with her action, but what if we were to like preload 3 crossbows for her and just have them at her side? That's a very
crossbows are very heavy. She has to hold them and aim them.
Okay.
it would be the same thing in my opinion.
All right.
Well, very fun. And you guys should make crossbow cart. Anyways.
Crossbow cart! Yes,
I just like
Ptolemaeus!
putting weapons on vehicles. But anyways.
Sounds like state car.
Yeah, it's state car, but crossbow cart. And I'm here for it. I can just almost hear Nathan sighing deeply somewhere in the distance. Just so you know, Gorbjorn, just where you are in the ether. Sometime hours later, you hear a small bell ring, and all of the women leave at midnight. Like,
aww.
They like everybody gets up and they like kind of just casually talk to each other like that didn't happen, and like
good
talk
ritual. Good ritual.
This is heaven.
And they all go about their business. You see, if you step outside after like, if you like just pull on some pants or something, but you see some of these people being like picked up by loved ones, people who were waiting outside for them around midnight. And you see that there's like men, same age range as these women, hold their hands and they talk to them and they walk away, assumed they're married. Just multiple people coming to say hi. It seems so casual and very, very normal here.
But like everybody else just like leaves kind of thing.
Yeah, everybody starts to leave. The only people left are like the two guard guys who are just waiting to lock up after you go.
Okay. I guess I'll go to the inn.
You're like, well, that was fun.
Well, that was fun. I guess I'll get some drinks with me and go to bed.
Not knowing anything about what's happened.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it was just like, you're like, all right, cool gift. You go back, you get some drinks. Your drinks are free as you have been given the gift of Gevyun, you believe. Drinks and bed. Is there anything else anybody wants to do before everybody's unconscious for their period of time?
If I see Gorbjorn in my pacing, I'll catch him up on the situation and let him know, please be quiet when you go upstairs. Don't bother Nanna. Like,
roll me a luck check.
What do you, just a D20?
Yep. Just to see if you guys align.
Now I want to stealth back to bed.
You'll never find me.
It's only a 7.
Oh, no. You guys do not line up. Gorbjorn is going to remain oblivious.
Amazing.
2 ships in the night.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. But if there is, yes, Nanna, do you have a thing?
Only flavor. I think as Nanna kind of slips into an uneasy sleep later in the night, like the weight of the pain in her chest kind of just unsettles her, kind of follows her into her dreams. Something's sitting there. Just not a very pleasant dream to start one's sleep on. That's it.
Okay.
I was.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna say something about that, go for it. But it's just gonna say one small thing. Saga leaves a plate with like a little drawing of Prince Gorbjorn on like a little piece of like parchment in her blue ink, with like a big bowl of soup and a bunch of like way too many muffins again, but probably just enough for Gorbjorn, in somewhere in the inn, just chilling there. She went to bed early, so she's not going to meet up with him, but it's there.
Oh, I would definitely be starving. Just
after all those calories he burned, are you kidding?
Yeah,
he gotta carb up.
The muffins and soup stood no chance. But through checks and pacing and brief moments of sleep and gathering yourselves, the morning eventually comes. There is a bit of snow on the wind. The ground is a bit icy and crunchy in places. It hasn't exactly started like building up. It's that not the pleasant type of like snow on the ground. It's just like, I can't pick any of this up. It's just ice.
Love hearing somebody from Georgia try to describe what snow is like.
I've seen snow at least once.
That's less than the California boy.
Yeah, the snow I'm describing is the snow we get, which is just shitty ice snow, where it's just like it's just garbage.
It's a thin layer. It melts. It refreezes. It's awful.
It's like, oh, fun! I can't do anything here.
It just merges with the trash and gutter.
Can't make an ice angel. It hurts.
It's all very sad, and like sometimes you get like that much snow, and you're like, hell yeah, but barely ever. But very cold morning. When you go downstairs, the chief is there. Hard to recognize her for half a second because she does not have on her giant horn hat, and you're like, it's just a normal woman. But she has a small rolled up parchment with her. When all of you get downstairs, I was able to get somebody to draw a vague map of what they remember. And when I asked them more questions to try and figure out what they remember from there, not much more than what I gave you. But I was right about the lanterns. So if you're able to find those, Gorbjorn,
I don't know what anything she's talking about, but she said map, and I just excitedly grabbed it and started looking.
You're like, yeah,
boy. I wonder exactly how oblivious Gorbjorn is to Nanna's condition, given like she looks like shit.
I know something's. I would have thought we cured this already, and it's like, oh shit, we're still doing this.
Like, come on.
Looking at the two clerics, like, what do you even do?
What are you guys doing?
I
break things on command.
You, sir.
What is it you say you do here?
Gorbjorn, when you look at the map, you see that Bellevin is marked. This seems to be a pretty zoomed in map. Vague lines, almost like a treasure map. Going into and pointing to the inside of a large circle of drawn trees. And you see next to that, she says, she comes over and points. This is called Gevyun's Moat. It's said that the goddess plowed around this area and contained the woods into a small, smallish relative, but a circle. To keep this area well enough for us to live. But the healer is said to live inside of Gevyun's Moat. There should be a path. This is where they think it was, and points to like a section of the map. It is going to be a bit of a journey. If you pushed for it and you got out of there quickly, it would be, maybe you could be back here after nightfall, but hopefully you can get out of the woods before nightfall or find somewhere safe to stay if you have to.
Our friend Ptolemaeus is staying here in our stead. I suppose he'll have some questions for you. He's kind of a history buff, so if you have time for him.
History buff, so is he, so you're saying he's smart?
Very.
He enjoys legends of local places he travels through.
All right, I'll make sure to be very accommodating.
We appreciate it.
Of course, and we will watch your horse, keep your things safe, make sure your friend does not get lost. Um, good luck is the best I can say, and I truly hope somebody is there to help.
Thank you.
Of course. Take it easy. Try not to rush.
I don't think I'll be rushing much of anywhere today.
Of course. She looks over at Gorbjorn, big smile, and then she turns and walks out.
I like this town.
Fucking rocks.
They give out free maps. Yeah. They have like these best celebrations.
This place fucking rocks.
That's right, you did receive the gift of Gevyun, didn't you? What was it?
I kind of like gesture at like half the ladies walking by around town.
Which one?
All of them. Didn't you see the? Oh wait, no, you didn't see the.
You
naked...
what? Nanna was racing and then unconscious when all this was happening.
Before we step out into the cold, Fenn's gonna take his cloak off and put it on Nanna to just keep her a little extra warm.
Okie dokie. You all bundle up, some of you extra bundle, and you begin your trek with a very rudimentary map towards the healer in the woods. And that is where we are going to take our break. Thank you all so much for watching so far. We're going to take a 10-minute break, so go get a drink, go get a snack, and then we're going to go into the very safe, very nice woods and meet a very nice person who is going to help us, and it's all going to be good.
The house will be made of candy and gingerbread, and it'll be great.
In 10 minutes, and we'll be right back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 70 of On the Backs of Gods. We just took a little break. Now it's time to jump back into things. The party has reconvened and on a mission to find a medicine woman of sorts in the woods to hopefully cure whatever is happening with Nanna. You all head off, leaving Ptolemaeus and your cart behind because the cart cannot go into the woods. But you start your trek. It's early for Gorbjorn to have gotten his sleep. You guys leave like about 8:30-ish and start making your way on foot to Gevun's moat, which you can see as you start walking. It is, from your angle, you could probably believe that it is just a huge circle of trees, a wooded area just taking up this one spot. As you all approach, it's a foggy morning. The ice kind of crunches underfoot, going through grassier areas. It's pretty quiet, a bit cloudy. But eventually, following the map, which is very vague and almost useless, you were able to, without a check at this point, find where the trail begins at the entrance of the wood. I'd love to know a marching order.
Ben will be right out front. If anybody wants to walk with him, they're welcome to, but Fen is mostly focused on finding how to get there, making sure we don't get lost and delay ourselves at all.
Okay.
And then if anybody wants to look out for bad guys, that would be great.
What's our positioning?
You're muted.
I was just like, oh, I better not be.
Nanna is going to stick around the middle of the group. Tactically speaking, she's the biggest liability right now. If she drops, that's going to be inconvenient at best for the party, so playing it safe.
Who is our second, like, in front person? Who is second?
I'll take it.
Okay.
I could, but I don't know.
I was like thinking like, am I carrying Nanna like up a bit, or but I'm like, I think that's more of a Tordric job, so he can deal with that.
Yeah, I feel like Tordric, it might be good if you're in the back, just to watch Nanna's back. I feel like I should keep an eye out too. I can do that from the middle-ish area, right? Like, I guess middle back, maybe?
Okay.
Find the flanks or whatever.
It's just your view isn't going to be as good for the directly ahead.
Well,
Tordric,
you gotta look behind too.
Mm-hmm.
Tordric is willing to, if we can find something for Nanna to just lay on so she doesn't have to knock herself out, because it's going to be a walk, Tordric's willing to pull her if we can think of some kind of contraption to use, because he's concerned that, you know, if we get in the heat of battle and she moves too quickly or something, that's not a good thing. So he's willing to pull her if we can find something to use.
Not for nothing, but I can still move. I can walk. And I think if worst came to worst and we were attacked, I could make my way out of the immediate range of harm without too much difficulty, especially with all of you watching my back.
If we're attacked, Nanna, I think finding a place for you to hide might be the best course of action. And I think you're right. I think moving on foot, even in your current condition, is better than trying to pull a litter or something like that.
At least until I get worse. I mean, I hope I don't, but...
No, I hope we make it there as quickly as possible, and that with this person can offer the help that's been told to us.
Roshan, where are you in this lineup?
Off to one of Nanna's flanks, either just ahead or just behind.
Which would you prefer?
Just behind.
Okay. Perfect. Just for our boys at the front, either you can both give me perception checks or one of you can make it with advantage.
Go ahead and make it with advantage.
All right.
Teamwork.
Was there a time frame that we were expecting this to take to get there? I mean, obviously, if something.
You're thinking it could take close to half a day to get where you're going.
Okay.
Depending. Say it out loud, please.
21.
Just like you're rocking out, and I'm like,
21.
Hell yeah.
Which he should be rocking out because 21 is good.
21's good. Keep your head on a swivel. Your sight is impeded slightly by the density of the wood and the fog that is continuing to roll in, but currently you're walking a path. It is not very hard to follow a path, and you're like, easy peasy. I can stay orientated, and it's kind of lining up with the map that Gorbjorn has.
And it's my favored terrain, so as long as it's not magical fog, that should help considerably.
Yeah.
Okay.
You rode very well. You all push forward, and about little over an hour in, so you've now been traveling in your favorite terrain for an hour. You see hanging from a branch near the path is an unlit lantern.
I think we're going the right direction. The chief mentioned lanterns, and there's one.
Sorry, can we talk about how half the party looked devastated when I started to do this description? They're like, God, what a nightmare.
I thought you were going to say that there was going to be a thing there, and we were like,
Death and rebirth, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what else has been hanging in trees lately?
Like, JK, the lady in the woods is Bosch.
Bosch in a dress, and he's like, what's up?
Hi.
You guys healing or something?
Yeah.
Hello there, Little Red Riding Hood.
You need healing? I mean, okay. Oh, it's a lantern, everybody.
Okay, good.
I can be kind. Sorry, it was just everyone like, it's really good.
I'd like to take a look at the lantern because it was kind of a degree of mystery about who placed them there. Can I get any information about like their construction or their age? Like, no one was able to tell us if the witch in the woods placed them or if the townsfolk had placed them so people could find their way. Who lights them?
Go ahead and roll me investigation. Just say off the bat, unlit.
Okay.
It is day.
I don't know anything.
What'd you get?
I got a natural 1 for a total of 5. So I don't know shit about lanterns. I
can
see in the
tell
dark.
you-
Why would I know about lanterns?
I don't need lanterns. It just makes it harder for me to
I see
hide.
in the
So it looked like, I mean, within that, it's an old lantern. You're like, this is old. You put it back on the branch.
old as balls.
This is the oldest lantern I've ever seen. And you go about your business.
Couldn't we light a fire in it?
Gorbjorn, would you like to try?
Sure.
Go ahead, and this is going to be just a good old-fashioned luck check.
14.
Yeah, you're like, and you're able to get like the light. It do flicker kind of aggressively. You don't think it'll stay lit incredibly long.
All right.
You're like, did it? And just like, it's really old, man. Lantern I've ever seen.
It's freaking my bean, dude.
Saga is in a good mood because of all the fog now. because that's a good sign. So she is kind of dancing around in the fog and swirling it around about. And just keeping an eye out. So, I mean, as far as position goes, she's wandered and is basically moving up and down the line. I don't know if that's gonna make things hard for you, but the fog and the stress is making it so she needs to be all over. She's gonna be
Roll
all over.
perception,
Just
Saga.
an orbiting entity
Yes.
around the party.
Everything is fine, and the fog is here, so Lady Sator's here, and everything's great. Well,
I hope so.
except for my perception checks.
Oh no.
Well, 13.
Okay. Fen, now that you have like you're like, I have the path, I have the lanterns. If I follow the path, the lantern should continue. And that is a correct assumption. You continue to push forward, leading the group. Occasionally you see, like out of the corner of your eye, Saga move forward through the fog and then disappear back into it. You can keep a pretty good eye on her, but she just occasionally moves in and out of your view.
Only slightly disconcerting.
And I would say that because of the fog, it should be easier for us to hear things from further out because sound travels better through humid air than it does through dry air.
I mean, I'll tell you with your perception check that
Okay.
it's not the loudest of woods. You can hear the sound of you guys walking. You can hear the sound of wind through the branches. You hear the occasional animal, a startled bird flying off. It's pretty quiet, not unnervingly so, though.
Yeah.
It is, you don't hear anything of note.
Okay. I'm just focusing more on auditory than on visual because of the fog. That's
okay. Listening for the slight creak of lantern on branch. You make your way forward, and you guys going at a slow pace as to not stress Nanna. It's like a nature walk. Making your way forward, and you're like, oh, another lantern. And you guys walk for a bit, another lantern. None of them lit. It's like pretty easy, pretty casual. The further you get in, Fen, you start to notice how the path begins to wane a bit, that it is not as consistent and obvious as you get deeper and deeper into this wood. But you're able to stay on track. You know what you're doing. And you're just looking out for anything traveled, which is easy enough for you to spot. And then you see lanterns, and you're like, oh, good. Lanterns, okay. And you hear a slight crunch underfoot. And you look down, and it looks like a broken piece of glass. And you look over, and you can see just more little pieces. And then in what is akin to a ditch near this path, a pile of lanterns. And you look forward and you can't see any ahead. All these lanterns in a pile right here.
we might have a problem with the way we were choosing to navigate before. Seems like
What's wrong?
Saga comes running up from the back.
seems like there might have been a bit of vandalism along the trail at some point. And I'll just gesture vaguely at pile o' broken lanterns.
Yeah, you all can see pile of broken lanterns.
Well, either it's vandalism or whomever the lanterns led to didn't want to be found.
Saga is gonna lean down to the lanterns and start casting mending.
You lean down, and over a minute, like one of the pieces of the lantern pops back into place, and it's like, hell yeah.
During that time, does she notice anything strange about the way that they're broken, or do they just seem like they were just smashed up?
Roll
Or is there-
investigation.
Oh, what? Well, I hope I succeed because that
I was
would
like,
be
is
something
this your
I'm bad
worst stat?
It is, yes.
Let's find out.
Well, no,
Let's
technically,
find
no.
out.
It would be strength is my worst stat, but
But your worst skill.
yeah. I'm proficient in all of the strength things. So athletics, I'm proficient. I don't know.
Roshan, while she's doing this, is going to cast Detect Magic and just take a good look around.
Well, I got an 8, so I'm sure Roshan will be able to find something.
8, you're like, yeah, these are old broken lanterns.
These are definitely broken, guys. Don't worry, I got it.
Yes, Nana?
Well, I'm just wondering if no, never mind. I take it back.
Okay, this time. No. Roshan. Just trying to remember. I feel like a lot happened and my brain popped. Roshan, you cast Detect Magic. Take a look around. You can, out of the corner of your eye, see like the shape of a person slightly behind you. Not as startling as it would have been a while ago. You look around. There is a slight shimmer that you haven't really noticed before to like Saga's eyes. The way I've described things to Gorbjorn, it is not as intense for when you look at it, but it does pick up slightly. You look around. There is a faint hint on all of the lanterns, and you can see like the slight carving of runes, but the magic from it is almost completely drained. There's not much more to speak of.
I don't mean to. Mending actually can't repair magical items.
Yeah, you are not
Okay.
fixing the magic part of this at all.
Okay, so it's not like the whole thing isn't magic. It's just a spot that's magic. Okay, cool.
Before you said that they were magical, I wanted to collect like a pocket full of broken glass from them.
You're welcome to get a pocket of glass.
Yeah, but I don't know that they're. Yeah, I don't know that that's magical glass. I just want some glass.
Yeah, and it may not even be magical glass, but you've already picked some up and you get it and you put it away. So you have a bag of lantern glass.
I go back and grab a lantern and then that's not broken and then come back to the party.
You hold up. One moment.
How far back would that be?
Okay. While Saga is looking at the lanterns and Fen is collecting glass and Roshan is eyeing the scene, and Nana's like, okay, you're good. You got this, amping herself up. Gorbjorn is able to dash back and then come back with a lantern.
Nice. I'm gonna light it again.
You just have to occasionally keep going back in and like shake it a little and you're like, okay. So you have barely functioning lantern, but you got it.
Can I tell what the runes on the lanterns might do?
Roll Arcana.
Somebody among us also has a book of runes.
12.
12. Is runes, is magic. You guys are really good at these lanterns. The lanterns. Ooh.
I'll jot it down for Tordrick and maybe we can check that out. I'll ask Gorbjorn, seeing that he went and got one. Do you want to try some vandalism? See if that does anything?
You mean break it?
Yeah.
Just drop the lit lantern then? Like,
Are you dropping it?
yeah, I guess I'm breaking it.
Just catching his breath and he's like,
Aww.
Boy, oh boy, does it break like an old non-magical lantern.
Damn it.
Boy, oh boy. Yeah, you break.
Sorry about that. I thought there's a chance.
Well,
Of it breaking?
I don't know, doing something.
Come on, looking at the stick. Come on, do something.
I don't
Saga just looks over as she's like putting together the one, like,
Oh, okay.
Like with that sigh, I'm like, okay, I'll go get another.
Gorbjorn, it'd probably take you like a 15-minute run to go get it. You're just like, take a break. I want a lantern. Books it off. Is there anything just in this 15 minutes of waiting for Gorbjorn, just anything real quick?
Tordrick is continuing to say, Nanna, calm down. Nanna, calm down. That's all he's focused on is her, not overexerting herself.
Tordrick, the more you tell me to calm down, the less calm I feel. Would you please find another tactic?
He's got to ponder that for a second. He starts walking in a circle, thinking about how he could do this a different way.
Maybe you could just knock me out for a little while until Gorbjorn gets back. I feel like that will be more productive.
Yes, knock me unconscious, the thing I can never return.
That's what I was thinking.
Never mind.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Thank you.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to roll my intelligence because on the bingo it says throw the first punch. So 1 second.
Oh, hell yeah!
Ha! Here we go. I'm rolling back. I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
He rolled an 18. He's got a 10 intelligence. He listens to you and he turns around and he cocks his hand back like, no, you had to have been kidding. And he goes back into his circle for a second and starts pondering how he can tell her differently to stay.
Amazing.
Oh boy! I'm glad I made that roll.
Me too.
You know, you make a bingo sheet, and really, you only good can come from it, and that's what I'm learning. Only good can happen.
Just like the deck of many things.
You said that, and I saw the word punch, and I'm like, oh no!
But during this, eventually Gorbjorn comes back with a new lantern, tight grip on it. Moving forward. Yeah.
I would love to.
I just wanted to make a lap around the pile of lanterns, if to see any kind of trail or anything going on. But
roll survival.
16.
The vague idea you can get from it is that somebody was on the path, kind of stepped off the path, because you can see like where some of the glass lands. It looks like it was thrown from the path.
Okay.
That's what you're able to glean, is that it was brought here and then yeeted from the path.
Yote.
Old lanterns.
Jotun.
But after that, you guys continue forward.
I take whatever's left of my lantern that I've been working on.
Okay. Do you take
Project now.
you cradle your mostly broken lantern, but you're working on it.
Yes.
You all move forward. The sun, is going higher in the sky, but the deeper you go into the wood, it matters for nothing. But Fen, keep her head on a swivel. I think you get this with advantage now, just casually, a perception check.
Okay.
Because this is your favorite terrain, which you've been traveling in for over an hour. I could be making that up, but sounds right to me. Sounds like a thing.
Is a 24 total.
Okay. It's almost like the path it's like too easy. You get to go back to your roots is the thing, and you're much better at that, where you can actually just look around and find what you're looking for. Looking for sign of this path just from where people vaguely treaded years upon years ago. And you are able to keep up with it. Eventually, like occasionally you'll like look up at a branch and you can see where a lantern would have been, as it is like chipped away at the bark there and it just never recovered. And you're like, okay. And you just make your way through, easy peasy. Saga with your 13, you're up and down, up and down. As you're in the back, take a glance off to the side and a bit into the fog, you see a lantern light.
Ah! Look at mine. Still not that one. I found another one, guys! It's just gonna start going.
That way. Hold on.
Saga has taken off. She's like, lantern.
Just holding the broken one up overhead.
My God.
Presenting it.
Wait, Saga, and I'll like hold up my lantern kind of thing and see if she'll just be like a moth to the lantern kind of.
No, yes, one of those right over there.
Saga, are you gonna keep going?
Well, yes, over there. Come on with me.
Yeah, Saga walks off there isn't a path. She leaves the group a bit, pointing, and like when you all look in that direction, you can see on like low branch height a lantern light. Saga, you make your way there. Dexterity saving throw, please.
Great.
Do it.
So did I. That's why I ran.
I wanted it. Should have put find trouble on the bingo sheet.
Oh, I do that anyway.
Yeah, that's just natural.
You don't have to be incentivized to do that.
Dang, I'm really bad today, guys. It's a 9.
Saga, you're like, why is nobody following me? These guys, there's literally,
What the heck?
and
Is it a bee?
you step. There's a swarm of bees. They have
No.
glasses of milk. They're
Not the
ready.
bees.
You're like, no. You take a step, and like the ground is like that type of like has a like almost frozen mud texture to it as you kind of like shuffle through it, and then you feel your leg sink in a spot, quickly followed by your other leg, and you go up to your waist in this mud. Your lantern sitting next to you, just watching you like, you all, if you,
But yeah,
well,
you
How
can go
much
ahead.
of that do we see?
you all could see, you're like head height, no longer head height.
Saga?
Why does she keep shrinking?
You can do a
I
strength
don't
saving
know.
throw, Saga.
No, I'd like to just mold earth myself out of here. It's earth, right?
Mud is earth, will accept that. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be like, oh no. I'm just gonna like move up a little bit at a time until I'm back up.
Covered in freezing cold mud. You're lifted up,
Oh.
and you see this lantern light directly in front of your face. And it like floats over to you, and you can see that it just kind of moves by itself.
Oh no.
Well, I know
You're
what
the
this
best
is.
one.
It's going to boop her on the nose with its body.
Oh no.
Are you my friend?
Hmm?
I said, are you my friend?
And
Oh, Saga.
Nothing wants to be
18.
my friend, and it really
What?
makes me sad.
That
Me
is
too.
kind of a bummer. Do I not have the D8? What's happening here? Well,
I have one, but I can't give it to you.
roll it twice.
Okay, I did that.
What is it?
The total or
Total.
one or the other? Total is 6.
Saga, you take 6 points of lightning damage as it zaps you on the nose, and then it just blinks out of existence.
What?
And you just hear the soft sound of giggling. Fen, you can make a history and or nature check. If you know
That
it.
was the rudest kiss I've ever had.
The kisses in town were so much nicer. And
Yes,
It's what-
exactly.
The 24 to nature.
Oh yeah. You have a pretty good guess. You think this is a will-o-wisp. Nasty little light, here to be a dick is the vibe. But you know they can turn invisible and just fully disappear from being part of anything.
Saga, don't pay them any mind. They just want your attention.
Guys,
They're
the lantern was really rude.
They're like the mean little jellyfish of the woods, but not good ones. They're mean ones.
Jellyfish are always nice. I don't know
No,
what
that's
you
not
mean.
even close to true.
Slosh as you make your way back.
These are
Yes.
not. Don't follow them. Don't pay them any mind. Just leave them be. They're shiny. They're tempting. They take pleasure in your pain and suffering. They want to mislead you. Don't let them.
Exactly the same as the lantern. They're just rude.
They are rude. Yes, they're very impolite. They have no manners.
Saga, as you like walk away, and right before you kind of get back to the group, you hear just like, it almost just sounds like a couple little people giggling at you. But that fades and you don't see anything behind you.
Just gonna look back. You'd probably have a lot more fun if you had friends, and you don't make friends that way. All right, you stop it. Then I'm gonna leave.
Shit.
You all tell him, Saga.
You keep going forward. Saga,
I think I've just confronted someone when they're being mean.
I believe you did. That would be a mark on your bingo sheet.
Wonderful.
They were very mean to me.
I don't think I specified humanoid, so
no, it just says someone.
And it's a somebody. It's a real dick.
Yeah.
Don't do it again.
You all keep moving through the woods. Fen, easy pickings. There's not a lot of traffic around here. There's not a crazy amount of animals like messing up the trail. It's pretty easy. And you continue to lead the group forward. And you smell this before you see it. And this is after about a little less than a handful of hours at walking through the wood. You can smell burning wood. And then you peer through the fog and you can see a small shack with a little chimney on top with smoke coming out of it.
I think we're here, or at least somewhere where there's someone living that can maybe provide us further information. Nanna, stay back. Roshan, will you come with me? And
yeah,
I just want to, and the rest of you, please keep an eye on Nanna. I don't want to barge in here. This person obviously lives off by themselves for a reason. They probably don't want to be bothered, but we need them so very badly.
I'm going to hand the lantern to Saga, so she has a complete one now, and then I'm gonna look to Fen like, I'm going to sneak around back.
Let's not do anything to provoke them, but just be on guard.
Wink.
Yeah. Also, considering that, maybe Fen, don't talk. Maybe let Roshan do that.
That's why I'm bringing Roshan. But this is a woods person. Maybe I can relate to them better.
Go ahead and roll me stealth real quick, Gorbjorn. We'll start there.
Not good. Apparently, I'm just walking around to the back with a 7 total.
He's all bow-legged from last night. He can't sneak. He can't dodge roll.
You want me to roll in this economy? From this distance, Gorbjorn is currently starting his stealth around. But you all can see the basically shack from here. Covered in overgrown foliage, has a bunch of, like, a good accumulation of leaves piled on top after years and years of falls and many falls and many falls. There's also off to the side, you can see something akin to a garden and a little shed. Shed's in pretty bad disrepair. The thing that catches some of your eyes, the things that stand out amongst a shack, is the amount of tchotchke, the amount of ornaments. You can hear the sound of wind chimes that draw your attention, that blow in the wind, and there's like pretty rocks sitting on the windowsills, which are fully shuttered. You can also see like twisted up twigs out and about, some dangling, some stuck in the ground. You can also see bits of some colored glass, some like pressed into the house itself, some dangling from strings. You can also see that there is the occasional animal bone. And Saga, you watch your friends start to walk forward, and you hear the wind chimes, and you look across all of it, and you see 4 sticks tied together, 2 X's on top of each other. You see the sign of Lady Satyr dangling next to this wind chime, and then your eyes scan the building, and you can see it painted into the walls, and some rocks in the formation of these 2 X's. It is everywhere on this building.
Oh, Saga just fucking dashes, like, past the 2 of them, straight to the door.
You're
Just
like,
Knock.
huh? All right. Saga fully
so
blows
excited.
past you guys. Are the rest of you staying back, or like is everybody now just moving
I guess we're going to the door.
forward? Or Bjorn just like tilts tilts inwards. Okay.
Nanna kind of like glances at Tordrick, like, does this look threatening? Should we stay back? Or...
You watch Saga gleefully skip forward towards it.
It's the fastest I've ever skipped.
The fastest skip.
Saga, please just
Aggressive
be polite.
skipping.
Saga, just please be polite.
Oh, she's already past you. She's
Yeah, so far past.
Oh, okay. I'm just, is everybody moving up is my question, or people-
Yes.
I'll call Tordrick and Nanna to join us.
Okay. Nanna's like, all right. As the plan changed aggressively. Saga, you are upon the building quickly, and you can see, like, if you look at the walls, at one point it was painted, and it looks like it was once a beautiful ocean scene, and you can see where clouds were and where the sun once was, worn away by weather now, but you now stand at the doorway.
Is there a knocker, or is it just a door?
It is just a door.
Okay, boop, 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 boop.
You give it some knocks and you wait. You don't hear anything.
Hello, excuse me. I see that you also enjoy, or you're also a follower of Lady Satyr. I am too. I'd like to talk to you. I haven't met anyone like you before, and I'd really like. Oh, my friend is sick as well.
But also, go ahead and roll persuasion with advantage.
Okay. Believe that is a 23.
Ooh,
That's it.
there's another pause, just for a moment, but you can hear the sound of, like, as if somebody is standing up from a chair. You know somebody's inside. You hear, like, the creak of somebody walking very slowly. And then through the door. You worship the lady.
Yes, I do. I haven't met anybody like that also has yet. I've been trying to talk to people about it, but I haven't been able to. My friends also. Do you also have eye drops? Do you have prophecies as well? I'm pretty sure the prophecy must have brought me here, I think.
it is just the sound of multiple things coming undone. And then the slow creak of a door, and you see that she's kind of slightly shorter than you, like back hunched, very old lady. This woman is, if you had to guess, in her 80s. And she looks up at you. She's only opened it enough to like get her face through to look out and scan the situation. You can see that her skin is just deep with wrinkles, and there's little pock marks, which you know comes from just years upon years of being in the sun. Just her skin is old and damaged, but just very soft, but there's like a furrow in the brow in the center a bit. Long white hair, you can see kind of curves down her arched back, and she's a bit plump, wearing just like a large dress, looks handmade, kind of bellish in shape. You can see that there are some strings tied in her hair and twisted in spots. She looks over the group. Okay, all right. You can come in, and like is looking at Saga and like opens the door enough for Saga to get in.
She's
and
like,
then
in.
And then looks at Nanna, who is pointed at for being sick, and is like, come in.
All right.
And looks at Roshan after Nanna walks by. Oh, could you give me your pronouns, please?
Anything is fine.
If you had to choose.
He's.
Boom! And the door slams in your face. The rest of you are left outside.
Wowie.
The two of you inside. The rest of you now staring at this woman's door. Inside.
It's good that Roshan and Fen didn't knock on the door.
Not to question you in your own home, ma'am, but my friends are good.
Then
folk.
you don't.
It's okay, it's okay. I'm sure they can talk later. But we have to probably do some kind of Lady Satyr thing or something to make you healed. I don't know. What are we gonna do? Have you my name is Saga Bloom. What's your name?
She like looks around, and for a moment, it's like the question confuses her for a bit, and then she's like, my name is Nira.
Nice to meet you.
You all look around, and the first thing that hits you is the smell coming from this place, which is like first the smell of the hearth where the fire is, the smell of burning wood. There's also the aggressive smell of herbs, dried herbs, like it is just a thick scent in the air. There's also the lingering scent of old wood. This place you saw did not look very well maintained, and the smell permeates into the house a bit. It is cramped and cluttered, but decorated with love at some point, you know. Every piece of worn furniture is covered in fabrics or ribbons or carved with some types of runes, mostly Lady Satyr runes. There are bells dangling from things. There are large amounts of jars covering one of the walls, some preserved, some things you cannot identify. There are barrels, which you assume maybe have food in it, and there's dried meats hanging from places, dried herbs, and kind of places in the wall that are like cracking a bit and look like they are struggling a bit. But that Lady Satyr symbol is on near everything. You can see a tea kettle by the hearth. You can also see a little cauldron sitting next to it for making soups. And you also can see that almost as if put in a prominent spot on a shelf There is an ornate little wooden box with like a little lock on the front.
Saga's just overflowing with happiness, and she's like, her eyes are flicking all over the place at all the things, trying to find her train of thought again.
Yeah. So you said your friend was sick.
Oh, yes. Nanna. This is Nanna. She's sick.
I really haven't done that in quite some time.
Seems to be a malady that normal spells don't want to touch.
Oh, that it seems you've picked yourself up a terrible malady.
Yes,
She
you're
kind
very
of
right.
sighs. She starts to make her way over to the table. It is a slow going. It looks painful and difficult as this woman trudges forward and then slowly, very slowly, sits down in her chair. So, can you prove that you worship the lady?
Oh, absolutely. She starts pulling out the bazillion Lady Satyr symbols that she carves just as a hobby. If you want one, you can have one. She'll hand one over. Also, she goes into her bag, pulls out, the eye drops. This is how I get my prophecies.
Her eyes widen.
Nanna also displays the bracelet that Saga gave her, the Lady Satyr symbol.
I gave her, a symbol too. She tried the eye drops too, but I think it hurt her head a little bit. But, you know, it doesn't have anything to do with the sickness. Yes.
I see. Well, her eyes don't leave that vial. I suppose I could at least take a look.
Yes. I tried to cure her with my. I have magic healing spells, and so does my other friend. But we tried to heal her, and it did not work. But I'm sure that you must have, lady. You must be so much more. You have so many more symbols than I do. I need to get more. Maybe that's why you're so powerful.
Go ahead. She looks at Nanna. If you could lay on the bed, please.
All right. Nanna not gonna fight her in her own house. Doot. Goes
Saga will
over and
help
lays
her
on
over.
the bed.
Yeah, you lay on the bed. There is the faint smell of sweat, and then like the scent of lavender. But the amount of smells in this place, it's like you're barely here on this cake. Meanwhile, the ring of the door slamming shut still echoes in a few people's ears. You hear murmured talking inside. Is there anything you guys are doing as you stand outside the door?
I'm gonna turn on my wolf eyes and look for anything to steal, I guess.
I got shit to do. Anybody else?
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
I'll also detect magic and not look for things to steal, but just look around.
Okay. And Finn?
I'm looking around, and you said there was like a garden outside.
Yeah.
Are things growing in it in the winter?
It does not look like it is really producing in winter.
Okay, so just fallow at the moment. Like,
Yeah.
okay. And like you said, the house is overgrown with foliage. Is it like holly and like evergreen things, or is it just like dead, like it's dormant for the winter as well?
Roll nature check
Okay.
to see if it looks natural or not.
Hey, I get to mark off my natural 20.
Hey, natural 20.
Oh,
This seems like it is, all the plants you are seeing are natural and where they've decided to be.
Okay.
It is what they should look like for the time, and nothing seems magical about it. Nothing seems off about it to you.
And then also you said that there were bones hanging around. Can I tell what sort of animals they're from, and if they're things that is there any indication whether she has collected them off of dead things she's found on the ground, or whether she has hunted these things herself?
With your nat 20, we'll continue in that direction. Examining them, both. The older a skull looks, there is a higher chance of it looking like it wasn't at like a mature age, or like it seems like oh, that skull isn't, and you're like, okay. Or you can see like where an arrow pierced it and you're like, okay. But any of the newer skulls, which there are not too many newer ones, do not have that sort of injury to them.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have like detect magic, so I'm just looking around for like ranger shit. So
Well, guys, I'll do some ranger stuff. Okay, guys, have fun. We'll hang out. Magical dudes. The most apparent thing is that the magic is inside the house. There is something of great magical potential in the house. Like around Gorbjorn's head height. There is something in there, but there are faint magical auras to things, but nothing outside glows, but there is a good amount of glowing coming from inside. Sadly, not a lot to steal out here unless you want to like steal like a rabbit skull or something.
Just gonna kick some dirt.
Back inside, as the boys check out the scene. Okay. You watch as she slowly gets up and makes her way over to an area full of jars. She picks one up and you can see that there are crystals inside of it. And she picks them up, and these crystals are attached to thin pieces of string. And you watch as she slowly puts a loop on the string on each finger. And then she has 5 crystals dangling from her hand. And she makes her way over to Nanna. She takes a deep breath.
Let me know if you need any help.
She nods.
Hey.
And
You want some I can guide you. You want some? I have Lady Satyr guidance.
If you'd like to.
Okay.
I would, yes.
She just looks excited to like touch another Lady Satyr fan. Like, whoa, you exist? She just gives her a little pat, and the little jellyfish tentacles stick to her, and she's got guidance.
Okay.
Just step back and watch.
Okay. She starts at Nanna's feet, holding her hand above it with the crystals dangling. She takes a deep breath again. And she closes her eyes. You hear a low hum. And you watch as each crystal starts to glow. She moves her hand and it shakes. As she moves it over, starting at the feet, moving up Nanna's body. They sway slightly with the tremors of her hand. And she makes her way up the leg, to the stomach. And when she gets above the center of the chest, you watch as all of the crystals come together in the center, all pointing down specifically at one spot. And she opens her eyes. A malady indeed. And she starts taking the crystals off of her fingers. Could you either pull your shirt off or remove it? And she puts the crystals back in her jar.
I can do that. It's a little painful for her to sit up, but Nanna will doff the 2 cloaks and pull
That'll
her shirt
help.
off.
Gotta make it not as much movement of the arms and stuff.
Yeah.
That is appreciated.
And then she looks to Saga after she finishes helping. There's a red jar over there, if you could grab that.
Okay.
And if you open that drawer over there, you will see what looks like a dried cocoon. Bring me one of those.
Cocoon.
Yeah. easy enough. Yeah. Gross.
I smell it. Shouldn't have smelled it.
Go back.
She takes it, and she also takes the red jar, and she pops open this red jar and like dips her fingers in, and starting above the heart on the chest, she draws the Lady Satyr symbol on the center, and then begins to expertly craft outwards rune upon symbol, just spreading out the expanse of Nanna's chest and stomach, going up to like the clavicle. And then she takes the little cocoon, draws a Lady Satyr symbol on it again by just kind of using her fingerprints a couple times, and she throws it into her mouth and begins to chew it. And you watch as her eyes glaze over as she stares at Nanna's body. And you begin to feel a pain in the center of your chest. It's not overwhelming, but you are now very aware of the pain there, instead of it being just a whole body ache.
Saga grabs Nana's hand when she sees her, like, kind of wince a little bit and just holds her hand.
You take her hand back and hold it away. You then watch as the runes begin to glow red on her body. And then it is as if the light of the rune sinks into Nanna's form and then pushes the light outwards. Her skin glows illuminated red in the chest, where you can see the shadow of her bones, and you can see where the veins are and shadows of where organs would be. It's almost when you hold like a flashlight to your hand and look at it, except it is the illumination of the chest. And Saga, because you're in a good spot to see, roll me a perception check.
Hey.
Magic X-ray?
Gosh, I'm rolling bad. It's a 14, which sounds not bad, but it's bad.
And then you're looking at Nanna, and then you follow Nira's eyes, and they stop. You just follow the line of sight to Nanna's chest. You can see this moving shadow, which from the movement of it, the beat, you think you can see her heart. You stare at it, but there are deep, dark moving shadows on it. It is writhing shadows of worms, just fully encompassing the organ. You can see them as clear as day, that there is just a writhing mass in the center of Nanna's chest.
Gotta deworm her.
Let's head back to the pet store, guys.
Yeah.
I know exactly what we need.
Guys, no, I'll figure it out. The pain then subsides as the glow vanishes, and you watch as she starts to clean off her hands and starts to put things away.
What was that? She's got to worms on her.
What?
I've seen animals with this condition. These corrupted worm type things. I've seen it before. They make their home in the afflicted being's heart. Usually if they're not dealt with before they enter the body. Really makes it difficult to do some things. I'm sure you've realized some things are a bit difficult. Makes your heart a bit weaker, but you'll survive. Just settle down, stay safe. It's not life-threatening if you don't make it so.
What? There's no cure.
You don't need to be if you just take it easy.
No, Nanna can't do that.
I cannot. I'm sorry. I've promises to keep. Promises that mean more than my life. If there's anything that I could give, I need to be able to keep moving.
Nanna, roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to help if I can. I don't know.
Yeah, that's you helping.
Okay.
Ooh. You know what?
Good.
You know what?
Did you get
Persuasion 19.
It's good.
She looks at you. Well, then, I assume those promises will cost you your life then. She stands up, but she like picks up the red jar and she starts to make her way back over to the shelf and starts to put it back up.
No, but no, there's gotta be another way though. We need Nanna, she's the leader. If we don't have Nanna, we're not gonna know where to go, and I need Nanna because she's helping me with the prophecy, and if I don't have her to help me out, I'm not sure what I would do.
She stops and she keeps her back to you. Saga, roll persuasion.
Okay. Oh.
Okay. That's okay. It's a 22.
Okay. She stops and she waits a moment. Fine, I suppose I can try to do something. You have to do something for me though.
Okay, sure.
Take those lumps outside and they can help you.
Oh yes, they're very, very helpful.
I truly doubt that. But maybe they will be good to help with this. I need a couple things done around here. I can't do them myself.
Huh?
I need the leaves cleaned off the roof.
Okay.
And there is a dead tree near the garden. I need that felled.
Oh, Gorbjorn is probably great at attacking things. He can do that.
Men usually are. I'll be in here.
Do you need any help inside? I can help.
Not right now.
Okay. Just let me know if you need anything. I will go talk to them and let them know that I'll let them know what happened, but after I'm done with that, can I look around your house a little bit? I won't touch anything unless you say it's okay.
Sure. As long as somebody gets started on doing some work, can't have any layabouts.
Okay.
And then she sits down back in her chair. What are you guys doing?
I guess
So
Nanna's
immediately
pulling
turn
her
around and
shirt
give
back
Nanna
on.
a big hug.
Everything's gonna be okay. You see, Lady Sator's here to help you. I knew she would help. She's always here to help.
I know, Saga, I know. As long as you're here, I'll be fine.
Both of you roll insight real fast.
No.
Aw, sad.
I got a 5.
Just succeed.
Just
I
do
mean,
it.
I could.
Just
You
do
could.
it.
I got an
I'm-
11.
This isn't a high stakes thing. It's not going to fill my bingo chart, but I do want to succeed. I mean,
It
I
might be
always
high
fit-
stakes.
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Let's.
You're gonna use your necklace of corset to bend will to your favor.
Yeah, I mean, when someone tells me to do it, I have to.
It's peer pressure.
Yeah.
You
I never use it. I gotta use it.
It's the
I
party
mean, I guess I could.
item.
I guess I could Tides of Chaos on it too to have advantage on it. Just blow up.
Please don't explode Nate inside this poor woman's shack.
She'd understand.
Oh, I get. So you're
I
gonna
Oh.
It doesn't say anything about like picking beforehand, so I could do this Tides of Chaos, and then if I fail again, I could use the Necklace of Foresight. So then you could have
Sure.
2 things on me. So then that's
Okay.
better for you.
So go ahead and roll.
Let's try that.
Roll again.
Okay, never mind. We don't need to use that. I got a 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you do have a surge whenever you'd like.
Thank you. Both of you can see this.
Oh, both? Oh, well.
Yeah. But Saga, you feel it a little deeper.
Yeah.
Watching you two hug, and she takes half a glance at you and then like goes back to like opening a jar and like taking something dried out of it. There is a sense of bitterness.
Oh no.
And then she quickly kind of like looks away and goes about her business. And Saga, it's not to the extent you saw it on that woman, but it's like before you found the group, you know, watching families run around together and friends playing tag and people in taverns hanging out. You could almost imagine the look on your face just a little bit. But you push that away because things are really good now.
Okay.
But
I understand.
Yeah. But both of you slip outside and you can see your friends all walking around. And at this point, you're like, that tree's dead.
Folks.
That tree's fucking
There
dead.
is a dead tree. It's very dead.
Your friends come outside. Mm-hmm.
Hello. Guess what? She's gonna help. She's gonna help. She's gonna heal Nanna, and Nanna's gonna be okay. And she has worms in her heart, but it's okay because she's gonna heal them. Yes, I saw them. She did a thing. She had crystals on her hands, and they were like, and then she put them on her, and then I could see her heart. I could see it with my eyes. It was crazy.
You what?
Yes, I could see all of your stuff inside. It was very gross, but also very interesting.
I can't even imagine.
So what can she do to help?
I don't know, but she's going to do something and she's going to help. It took a little bit of convincing, but she understands that Nanna is needed for Lady Sator's quests, so she's going to help because of that. And Lady Sator is here to help us. Thank you. I'll talk more with you later. Oh, and but yeah, I got you. Also, she did ask for us to do some favors for her in return. So she wants the leaves taken off of her roof and a dead tree, felled.
One over there, I expect.
That's all? That's all she wants? Yard
That's all
work?
she asked for.
Landscape?
Yes, she's got brittle bones and stuff.
All right,
She
that
said
seems
it
like
was the
more than a
sheep.
fair price. And Fenn's just gonna like off into the woods and start finding sticks, and he's building himself a rake. Like he's got string, he can and woodworking tools. He's building a rake, and he's climbing up on the roof, and he's gonna take all those leaves off of that roof. It's the cleanest that fucking roof has ever been.
Making old-timey rakes actually is a long process.
No roll necessary. As you emerge back from the woods with a rake, you're like, and then you just easy enough climb onto the roof, not a problem, and you just start raking goopy
Where did you
leaves
even find
off
that?
It's like,
Gross.
It's a feature of a ranger. You're able to find yard tools in the woods.
I made this.
True story.
I have woodworking tools and string.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I made this. And he's Fen is instantly cleaning, and then you like one of the windows opens slightly. And can somebody get some water from the well?
Where's the what?
I'll go do that.
She points in the direction, and Roshan turns and walks that way, and the window closes again, and you can hear something lock. You see before you, next to the garden, also this large tree, about 30 feet tall, not doing too hot. It needs to come down, but it could be dangerous. Who's on Team Tree?
Me.
Roderick.
Tordrick and Gorbjorn and everybody else who isn't either running off to go get water or on the roof.
I have rope if you need rope.
What do we need
Raking
rope?
a roof.
I've got so much rope. Please don't let this crash into her house.
I can push the dirt on one side so it doesn't want to do. I can only do it for 5 feet, but I can push the dirt as well.
Or if we like almost get it down, then me and Tordrick can like push it that way.
Oh, yeah.
All
Do
good
you need-
ideas, I think.
If you don't need my help, I have a lot of tasks to do inside.
You do your tasks.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm
then I
gonna
run
hit
away.
this tree with my magic sword.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah.
I
Who
am.
needs an axe?
Fen is paying very careful attention to the direction that this tree is going to fall, and I would like to ready an action. If this thing's going to fall in the house, I am casting Rope Trick as a shield, so this thing hits the Rope Trick and goes somewhere not onto the house.
I'll ponder that about Rope Trick, but I'll accept your ready to action.
Have I bamboozled the DM?
No, I'm not bamboozled. I'm just trying to decide if that's a thing. But I will say it is a ready to action. Go ahead and make an attack against a tree. I'll give you advantage. It's a tree.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a natural 16.
That hits, and you auto crit.
Whoop woo!
As you have basically this baseball bat of a sword cleave into the tree aggressively.
So that is 31 damage.
So you aim down, you're like, all right. And Tordrek is next to you, both of you ready to, if necessary, do some pushing.
What was that about? Get it almost down?
Oh, I don't know how much trees have.
This tree gives
It's old and
so easy. You're like, oh, this tree was nothing. Usually trees are stronger than this. This is a weak tree. And then you wonder if all trees are weak, and it's just a thought for a moment. But you cleave basically almost fully through the bottom of this tree. Tordrek and Gorbjorn, go ahead and give me athletics checks.
Come on, buddies.
If we can push this tree in the right direction.
That's over
Bebop
20.
chunks.
Oof.
14 total for me.
Ooh.
Yeah, 22 total.
Okay, with my threshold having been 30. Both of you, you go high, you go low. Both of you just sort of like lead the tree in the right direction. And it falls perfectly alongside the garden, doesn't even touch any of the little bit of fencing, lands perfect. Fen holding a rope and waiting and like, okay.
Right.
I don't know if it would have
Okay,
worked,
right.
but I would have tried. And you go back to raking. Roshan, you've started walking, and eventually you come across a well. Go over, do you start trying to just pull up the water using the crank?
Yeah, do I still have detect magic?
Sure, I'll say it ends like basically as you get there, but no magic here.
Okay, yeah, then I'll start getting some well water.
Okay, you pull it. Wow, it's very light, and you see that the bucket is no longer attached and is at the bottom of the well.
Then I will I will touch the joints of my body and then step back and leave a shadow where I was and cast Unseen Servant. And have the Unseen Servant climb down the well.
Get in the well.
You can almost look at it. Get in the well.
Get in
And
the
it just
well.
kind of gives you like a little salute, and then it gets in the well. You watch it like grab the rope, and it descends.
Put the lotion in the basket.
No, we lost the basket. That's the whole problem.
There's the slight swooshing sound of water as this thing makes some contact with it. But eventually you see a bucket land outside of the well next to you.
Then I will tie it on. Does the rope look like it needs to be replaced, or?
You think that you could like take off a little bit of the rope and it would still be fine.
Okay. I'll do that and then tie the sturdiest knot I know from Fen.
Roll
Yeah,
survival.
Fen.
I'll give you advantage because you're name dropping.
Fen taught us all real good how to tie knots.
I recall there was a moment where Fen said, I teach people to tie knots, and Roshan's like, I learned to tie knots. I just vaguely remember this.
We all got knot lessons,
Yeah.
whether we liked it or not.
You're good.
That's a 13 total.
Okay. Well, the knot. I was like, what the fuck was I making you roll for?
He should only need to know a figure of 8 for a knot. So 13 beats that.
You think the knot's sturdy, and you throw it in, and you were able to retrieve some water.
I will take the water and head back and see that they felled the tree, and then tap on the window that she asked from.
By this time, I'm going to assume, Saga, that you've already run back inside.
Yep.
You hear this tap on the window. She makes no move towards the window.
Can I see out the window?
You can see a slight shadow of somebody there.
There's somebody at the window. Do you want me to get the window?
Sure, you go get the window.
Okay.
Just open it a little, see it's Roshan, and then open it all the way.
Hi.
Hi, she asked for some water. Also, does she want the dead tree cut into firewood?
You just hear from the background, ask her if she composts.
Did you hear any of those? Do I have to repeat those questions?
You're going to have to repeat those questions.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure what the Fen said something about compost. I don't know what that is. And then the tree. Do you want it chopped up into firewood?
That sounds very useful. I would like the tree chopped up.
Yes. Yes, firewood.
I'll yell off to Gorbjorn. Chop it up into small pieces.
Oh!
I assumed that would make him happy and keep him occupied.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So Saga, you're inside with this fellow worshiper. She motions for you to like pour the water into the cauldron.
Pour it in. So what you do? You making like a potion? Did Lady Satyr teach you how to make potions?
Well, everything I do is guided by Lady Satyr, but all of these magics I learned on my own. But through her.
Wow, that's amazing. You're very smart. I've just been learning from Tordrick how to do some clerical things. I'm really quite fortunate with how my prophecy has taken me. Did you have one as well? Did you?
Oh. Hi. And there's like for a moment like a genuine smile. Oh, I used to go everywhere. I'd walk just on and on and on, and I'd sleep where I fell, and I did so many things. And then, you get a bit tired, and the lady shows you this place that you can go and rest. And so I came here. I learned to use the wood to my advantage to craft medicines, and the people needed that in the nearby town, and I needed supplies, so it worked out. And then your bones just, I can't do what I did. I can't walk. I got a prophecy a long time ago, and I can't even remember it.
Oh, but did you? Oh, you didn't finish?
No, it doesn't feel finished, but I can't really do much. So.
Well, I mean, if it's a prophecy, then it will happen no matter what. It's okay. You know that. This is probably what is supposed to happen. You know what? Maybe you were supposed to wait here for us. Who knows? Because we were brought here, and this is the first time I've ever seen another Lady Satyr follower. Have you ever met another one?
To be honest, I haven't. You're the first one that I've met, and I'd tell people about it, but nobody listens when you run into town, your hair up and crazy, and talking about how you have to, fish for worms, and nobody seems to understand, but you end up fishing for worms just in the middle of town. And then you leave.
I totally understand that.
But
I mean,
you have your prophecy, which is good.
Yes.
You can continue to follow until, I suppose, your bones get old.
I guess. I don't know. I didn't really think about the future. I suppose.
It comes so quickly. It just, 1 minute you're on the road, and then you have a little house, and then you're too tired to leave.
Oh. Well, did you meet people when you were walking?
Well, not like you did.
Oh.
Not like that.
Huh.
I'm
Strange.
I'm shocked a bit with some of your companions that you've chosen.
Oh, I didn't choose them. They must have been chosen for me. Everything just kind of fell together.
Maybe you're still young, but the lady will show you that men only lead to despair. They only lead to sadness and hurt, and she was right. She was very right.
Well, how do you know that?
The way, the prophecies, I followed them, and they always happen. And she told me that I would be hurt. And I was. They're not to be trusted. And she takes your hand. They will show you kindness. They will do nice things for you, but in the end, they will leave. And she squeezes your hand, and you can feel her hand shaking a little bit.
Hold her hand back. Seems like she needs it. Well, thank you for the advice. I'm sure Lady Satyrs. I'm sorry. Sorry that your prophecies took you that direction. I mean, I suppose it gave you the wisdom that you have now.
It did. And you will find yours too. And it will hurt, but the lady has never steered us wrong.
No, she has never ever. Would I be able to ask you a question about something? I don't know if it's something sad or not.
I'll do my best to answer.
Did you forget things? Like, what do you remember, who your parents are and stuff like that, or where you grew up and things?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't remember where I was born. I cannot picture a mother or father's face. And maybe there never was one. Maybe we were birthed by the goddess from the sea.
You were in the sea too? Yeah.
That's my first memory.
Mine too. Yeah. I came out of the water, and I just remembered Lady Satyr, and she had given me the prophecy, and I just started walking.
And she touches your face. You are very special. You are touched by great magics. And she pulls up the sleeves on her dress, and you can see difficult in the the tan of her skin and the wrinkles and the age, but you can see the stings of marks of jellyfish. We have been given something very special.
Yeah.
Don't let them dim you. They will try. They will try to hold you back or say something is wrong. The amount of people that were afraid of the lady when I would speak of her told me that what I was doing was wrong. Don't let them.
I won't.
I will help your friend, but only
Thank
because you are here. You bring the lady with you.
I really appreciate it, and I'm sure the lady does too. I'll talk. Would you like to talk to her with me? I don't know if we can do it together. I mean, I've never tried, but would you like to pray with me?
I don't think I could kneel, but I could lower my head, I suppose.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. We could, you know what? Because I find my favorite way. I don't know. You could tell me how you usually do it, but she holds her staff. Do you like fog? I see you like fog. You're in fog. I like fog, so I cast fog, and then it's like, and then the lights, and it's like we're under the sea, and you don't even need to kneel.
Oh, by all means, then. You guys watch fog burst out of the house.
That tracks.
Saga, what the fuck? I'm up here on the roof. I can't see anything.
It's okay.
I'm praying.
Coming out of
praying.
the windows and things.
Yeah, it just comes out of the windows and little cracks in like the ceiling and the walls.
Almost like the house is on fire, but it's not. It's fine.
What is
It's not
that?
as, is that
she
fun?
looks at
Oh
you,
no. Oh, it's
and then
fun.
she like
Mm.
closes her eyes and like lowers her head.
I cast dancing lights as well, just to have the jellyfish swimming around.
She opens her eyes again and starts looking around.
Okay. Hello, Lady Satyr. We haven't spoken in a little bit. But I just wanted to say hello because I met another follower. It's been never, I suppose. Me and Nira are here to speak to you and to thank you for bringing us together and for helping my friend Nanna. I really appreciate it. And if there's anything else we can do to help, and possibly even help with Nira's prophecy, if you'd like help, or maybe if this is what was supposed to happen, if you have any guidance, or you brought us together, there must be something we should be doing. Anything you'd like to say?
Lady, she asks for so many kind things of me. I ask you protect her from the outside forces as you had me, to keep her safe, as you always will. And there's just like her own like tiny version of dancing lights. It's not as like over the top, but it looks like
Yeah.
just like tiny little orbs that float around and mingle with yours.
And I take her hands and I cast guidance on. Or no, I'm not gonna do guidance. I'm gonna do emboldening bond, just so we both have that, because that seems right. And I create a bond between people, so it's me and her bonded together.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a religion check with advantage.
I technically get a D4 as well.
By all
because I did
means.
that.
Please take it.
Hey, Lady Satyr. Now would be like a really cool time. Okay. It's a 15.
Okay.
Pretty good.
The bond between the two of you is immense. There is a moment where you feel so incredibly connected to the lady and to this woman in this secluded little shack surrounded by fog. The gentle sounds of a log being destroyed in the background. The sound of a rake scraping across the roof. She looks at you. I need 2 things to make what your friend needs to be healed. I need. Do you know what a will-o-wisp is?
Oh yes, one kissed me today. It hurt a lot.
Then this should be an interesting task. I need a will-o-wisp caught alive.
Okay.
And I need dead men's fingers.
Oh. I'm sure we can do that.
I believe in you. And that is where we are going to stop for tonight. Thank you all so much for being here with us. We really appreciate getting to tell you guys a nice, fun little story. One of some chores and a walk in the woods and meeting an old lady. How fun, how fresh. Love getting to do that with you guys. Love this bingo game. As it
so
almost
good.
made Tordrek punch Nanna in the face. I love where everything's already going. I'm already in.
I do have to wonder, my persuasion being a 19, it sounded like a success. And that is like one of my worst skills.
Sadly, the DC was 20.
Fuck!
That's why it was a failure.
All right.
It was a tough check on that one.
I
was just like, ooh. But here at the Dice Cult, we've got a bunch of things going on. Frank, do we have anything fun this week on Tuesday?
I'm hoping tomorrow night. I'm praying to the 9 sisters all night that everybody can make it because, we need to play. We have a really good story going on right now, and the momentum is a little lost. We're going to build it up tomorrow. I can't wait to play. I hope that everybody can, and we'll find out soon enough.
Good luck, buddy.
And if you want to keep up with us to make sure that you know when things are going live, it is at the Dice Cult on Twitter, and we will keep you updated about what we're doing. And speaking of what we're doing, Abby, would you love to tell me about Wednesdays?
Yeah, of course. So Wednesdays we got our little show called Cordially Invited. It is over on the Dice Cult YouTube channel, a little different. We play live bi-weekly on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. We played last week, so if you missed it, you can catch up on YouTube this week. Absolutely. But next week we have a special little thing. We're doing something a little different. I think we did some preview talking about it on the stream, so I think I can give a few details. But Ian is running a one-shot. It is going to be the hint I think he gave was "Oops, all wizards."
Ooh, how fun!
Oh my god, so good!
Yes, so I'm very excited for that. So join in for that special little episode on December 1st.
All right, and that's over on our YouTube, youtube.com/the Dice Cult, and that's where you can watch past episodes of On the Backs of Gods and what we have going on Saturday. If you're like, boy, oh boy, do I love watching D&D during the week, but what of the weekend?
You gotta have a palate cleanser.
Cleanse my palate with terrible vampire
Blood.
people.
Blood, yes.
And that. On Saturdays, we have Vampire the Masquerade and the Last Remaining Light, which goes live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A fantastic little vampire drama where mostly we burn things down and kill people and then people get mad at us, I guess.
Ooh.
But currently we've been put in a place where maybe we have to bargain and talk our way out of things, or we could burn them to the ground. It's always still an option. But if you want to keep up with us and some, vampire stuff, you can see you on Saturday. if you would like to keep up with us, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. On Instagram, we got a bunch of art, a lot of beautiful art by Abby. You can find character art of the players. We got NPCs. We have pictures of Ave, who is now just mentioned in passing. It's almost as if he died 60 sessions ago.
I can still hear his voice.
Spoilers.
I wonder who killed him.
It's like I killed him.
Yeah.
If you want to keep up with us like that.
Gosh, too bad he isn't here. Then we'd have dead man fingers. So easy.
Oh man!
Not it, so you don't die. But thank you all so much for being here. We love it and appreciate it. We love to get to tell you guys a story. What a nice way to end with Dead Men's Fingers. We are here same time, same place every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would love to do a little raid if we could be so bold. And we will see you guys next week. Good night.
Thanks for joining us, cultists.